Carole and Tuesday Part 2. Let's go.
Oh, season 2 is upon us, and it has been amazing. It just has been one of the most amazing animes that I have seen this whole entire year.
If this anime doesn't bring about world peace, I'm going to be disappointed.
That's exactly what it's doing. It's bringing about world peace, at least inside my heart.
Yes, of course.
Among all the critics in the world, all the cynics, all of the really serious things that we think about in our entire lives, there are some animes and there are some stories that really just takes us back a little bit. It takes us back and think about the most important things in our lives.
Our roots.
Yes, our roots.
Yeah.
This anime does such a good job of bringing you into a space where all of the fuzz, all of the explosions and action and special effects,
Or just all of the stuff that is kind of bells and whistles.
extra. And extra. Too many extra stuff in our lives. It takes you back. It brings you into a space where you can appreciate the small things in life. Music is a universal language, and it teaches you about life.
Carole and Tuesday is an example of probably one of the best Netflix animes that have come out so far. I mean, we have a lot of Netflix originals, but it's probably one of the best that I've seen. And it's a good reminder that we are all greater than the sum of our parts.
Yes, it touches you in the heart, it touches you in the soul, and it kind of brings you to, when we talk about Kengan Ashura, and then there's My Hero Academia. Those are all very exciting animes.
Yep.
They're all very fun. But when you watch Carole and Tuesday, you just sit back on your chair or on your sofa, and you're just embracing the world, right? Like you're just listening to their songs, their lyrics, and it's a really wholesome experience, and it's peaceful too.
The best take I can say out of that, what you just said, is that most anime is a very good escape from the real world, whereas Carole and Tuesday reminds us of the good of the real world. Ooh. So we don't have to escape it, but rather appreciate it more than the negatives.
Take it all in. Just take it all in. Now, in season 1, Carole and Tuesday took us in a journey of discovery. It's girl meets girl, girl and girl forms a band. Mm-hmm. They take over the music industry by storm, and then they are discovered. They grow, take over the music industry by storm, and what they end up doing is touching the hearts of the community, the world of Mars, recently filled with music that was just augmented and AI driven music. Season 2 is about identity. I'm left wondering just how talented the creators are for this show is, because they pretty much cover a lot of different platforms that revolves around the music.
Mm-hmm. They cover a lot of genres too, and it's interesting because the best music I've heard this year, or in general from anime, comes from Carole and Tuesday.
Really?
I think they have good producers working on the anime. It's to be expected. A lot of these songs are really good.
They are very good. The lyrics are great. I mean, you touched on a little bit of doing different genres. They have some rap in there. They have some reggae in there, and
some psychedelic stuff too.
Some DJ Artigan is a really good character in this show, who is like this amazing. He's like Deadmau5, but then the story takes you from his rise to his fall and his resurrection. Mm-hmm. As Carole and Tuesday seemingly stumble their way at the top of the charts, they do it in a way where they don't compromise their moral beliefs.
Yeah, that's true. They're always staying true to their beliefs, and what this show does a great job of in season 2 is they're adding more layers to the dynamic of the story. Mm-hmm. And in this case, we're seeing a lot more political stuff. We're seeing a lot of allegory to immigration and freedom of speech, and it does it in a way where it doesn't transform the show into a commentary.
It's just a complementary.
Just adds to it.
Yeah, it's just the backup band to the main show.
Yeah, and so you have these kind of subplots, but they relate to the main plot. They're not just getting in the way. Of course, there was a dark side that they also explored with Angela.
Yes.
We go through this, or we see these things unfold in our world a lot, where the artists just buckle under the pressure. They start doing drugs, or they just can't handle it, and they just go in the downward spiral and just everything falls apart.
Yeah, we see it a lot in tabloids and the headlines that we get in every time we see a newspaper or we open up our phones and look at the news of the day. But it's interesting that they do touch on that because it deals a lot with depression, drug use, and some really sensitive topics around the music industry and its dark side of the music industry.
Yeah, and it shapes the final piece of this season, which was Mother. And it deals with Angela's loss, obviously, with her adoptive mother. And it also deals with a lot of the emotions that she's missing as she goes through just being a manufactured pop star versus the juxtaposition of Carole and Tuesday, who are always just singing for the love of singing, writing songs for the love of writing songs, and just at the end with that 7-minute miracle where everyone comes together, we see just how unity and the concept of Mother connects everything together.
Yeah, and for Angela's case, in Angela's case, because the season is really all about identity, she finds herself. There was an AI version of her as she's battling through her own, selfish pride and her own beliefs that she ends up discovering herself. She didn't need Tao anymore, and she certainly didn't need the AI version of herself anymore. Finds herself in the end.
Yeah, and what she needed was friends.
What she needed was family. What she needed was friends. What she needed was love.
Yeah.
And that takes us to the final and most epic piece of the season, the 7-minute miracle.
That final song was just incredible. It moved me to my core. It tugged on the heartstrings. We tend to forget the best parts of you are the things that make you different from people. And it doesn't have to divide you. It doesn't have to separate you. You can just relate to each other about your differences and come together in that fashion.
Yeah, I ended up watching this all the way to the end of the credits because you can't stop watching it. Listening to Mother, the final song, the 7-minute miracle, it just left me super happy.
Yeah.
I was just so relieved that I watched it and it was at the end. I wasn't sad that it was over. I was just so happy that I got to experience the second season.
In my mind, I was giving it a standing ovation. I stood up and I was like, that makes me happy. It reminds me of when the Disney stars would come together, for the new year and sing this kind of festive song together, and all of the stars would sing their parts in the song. And
it reminded me of We Are the World, led by Michael Jackson and a bunch of other artists.
Yeah, very touching song, very uniting song. Touched our emotions, and it was just a great song.
It's a great song, a great season.
Yes.
Perfect, dare I say.
Dare you say?
Dare I say?
I think I will agree. Well, that'll do it for our review of Season 2 of Carole and Tuesday. Great music, great feels, just all around happiness. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. If you want to see more from us, hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications, hit that bell icon, and we'll see you guys in the next one.